Hi there, I'm Scott, and I'm striving to become a Renaissance person. In my last video, I discussed the idea of the Renaissance aesthetic, form and function important, and I wanted to go and delve a little bit deeper into the topic and talk about colors. In case you don't know, colors actually have a lot of representations, and there are whole theories about colors out there. Some of the earliest color wheels were created back in the 18th century and have been used ever since. So as you may remember, there are three different types of colors. The first is primary, and those are colors that are naturally made, and they consist of things like reds and blues and yellows. Secondary colors are combinations of the primary colors to varying degrees. So you end up getting a purple from red and blue. You end up getting a green from yellow and blue. Tertiary colors are combinations of both primary and secondary colors. And since colors are used often in marketing and advertising, you probably need to know what each color represents. Now, colors like red can mean several different things, including passion and blood and anger. So a lot of it is in situ or in context to how a color is being used. So love, passion, and anger are red, and blue represents things like calm and being responsible or sadness, feeling down. Orange, on the other hand, represents the sun and happiness, energy, and vitality. Yellow also represents happiness and hope, but it can also represent things like deceit or fear. Green usually represents things like new beginnings, groundedness, earthiness, and things that are natural. Purple usually represents things like creativity, royalty, and wealth. Black can represent things like mystery, evil, and elegance. Gray can represent moodiness, conservative, and formality. And white can represent things like cleanliness, holiness, purity, and virtue. And one thing I didn't mention earlier, the emotions that I'm discussing here, representing colors, can be different in different cultures. So for example, a bride in America may wear white, but in other cultures that could be completely different. Brown represents nature, wholesomeness, and dependability. Tan and beige can represent things like conservative, as well as piety, and cream and ivory represent things like calm, purity, and elegance. Now, there are certain rules in art and in architecture and in fashion when it comes to the use of colors, so we're going to discuss that next, insofar as how it relates to fashion and the Renaissance aesthetic. So if you are looking at a color wheel, you can tell that related colors are close together and that the ones that are opposites are farther apart. The first term I want to introduce you to are complementary colors. And those are colors that exist close together on the color wheel. So for example, blues and greens go well together because they are close together and complement each other. Hues of orange and red also are close together and therefore can be said that they complement each other. The next term is analogous colors. And those are colors that are even closer on the color wheel and might have different shades or tints or hues. So for example, a hunter green might go well with a teal or a blue. Whereas the last term, monochromatic color, are colors all of the same primary color with different shades or lighting or depth of that color. So for example, the color of aubergine goes well with purple or a violet. It adds a rich tapestry, I believe, that the first two schemes didn't, the complementary and analogous colors. So I've explained to you color theory in brief, and how is that going to relate to how I want to dress in the style of a Renaissance aesthetic? Well, as I mentioned in my previous video, I'm going to go and try the old money look, which is popular now, but it's never really been out of style since it was originally created back in the 30s and 40s of the last century. Clothes that look good, that are smart, that can be used in various combinations, that can easily be mixed and matched, that are durable, that offer both form and function, and convey a sense of propriety and style and class. This in comparison to things like really clashing colors of a t-shirt with a huge logo across it, or in comparison to things like, it's popular years ago now, torn and ripped jeans. Things like that, well, I don't think they're very durable, obviously, but they're not what the Renaissance aesthetic or old money style is. You want to be able to easily change from a formal type setting to a more casual or business casual or just relaxing and lounging look. Obviously, it's not going to go and cover you for every single occasion, such as, tuxedo and black tie affair, or possibly even a wedding. But for majority of circumstances, I think this look will work nicely for me. If you have any recommendations on any specific accoutrements or specific apparel items that I should be looking into, please let me know what your thoughts are below, and I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please subscribe. Take care. Thanks for watching.